There may never be a perfect time to start, but whenever I'm asked when is the best time, my answer is always the same. Now is the best time, while it is on your mind. Being able to tell your family that you have an estate plan in place, that all the details have been taken care of, will be a great relief to both yourself and those you care for the most. Our initial consultation is without charge, and there is no obligation. My phone number is 847-996-0496, and my website is morelawoffice.com, spelled M-O-R-E-E. I look forward to speaking with you.
You're listening to WCPT 820, because facts matter.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for this drive home. Hope that you are happy, healthy, and safe wherever you are today. A lot going on. And we have coming in the studio in just a few moments, we'll have comedian Joe Kilgallon joining me. Actually, we'll have several comedians throughout the show today to tackle some of the biggest stories in the news, including, I don't know how to put this. If you are a Knicks fan, bear with me as I work my way through this thought, because yesterday one of our listeners, Roosevelt, called and said that this was going to tank the Knicks' chance of it's going to nix the Knicks' chances of winning the championship, having Trump insert himself into this, causing complete chaos. Again, Knicks fans, bear with me. I don't mean this. Look, the decades that people wished ill on my beloved Cubbies, I think is well detailed and well documented. I kind of hope that the Knicks lose the whole thing so that people won't just carry the rage of what happened yesterday with the inconveniences, with the skyrocketing to the cost of getting there, the amount of money that was spent on his security. I need it to be the whole thing. I need the guttural hatred of the entire city of New York to be directed at this man in purpose. There's a line that comedians have about, sometimes not everybody in the room gets a joke. You'll have like maybe one person that laughs more than everybody else. And a comedian will say, I'll have a joke for you somewhere during the show. So if it takes you at some point to get the just scalding hot hatred that so many people have for the actions of Donald Trump. Now, mind you, notice that I said hatred for his actions. I think that's important because I don't wish ill on anybody. I don't wish harm to come to anybody at all. And let's just say I won't be singing praises the day it happens, is all I'm saying, right? I mean, it's going to happen. I just think if you have the entire city of New York and Knicks fans all over the world, I'm just saying there's the ill will alone is going to be astronomical. So, Roosevelt, I simmered with your comments yesterday toward the end of our show when you called in. And then when I saw the outcome of the game, and by the way, was the purpose? He doesn't like basketball. He has said nasty things about the team, about the city, about the mayor, obviously. Why did he want to be there? If he, one, doesn't even like basketball, two, wouldn't presumably have most of those basketball players living in buildings that he has owned. Check out the history. Just saying. Look no farther or further, you know what I mean, than the Central Park Five. Up is it? I'm just putting that out there. And also, you can't stay awake for the game, which we knew was going to happen. Basically, they just propped him up in front of the entire world, in front of a NBA championship game, for him to take a little nap. I hope that they were able to wipe the drool. I don't know how often they had to change his diapers, but Drowsy Donnie, Dementia Donnie, folks, did appreciate you texting into Joan's show with some of your other names. I want to be on the record that I've been using Drowsy Donnie and Dementia Donnie for months. I'm not sure that I coined them. We're not sure if I also coined, they say TDS, which is something that Republicans want to claim is a mental health issue. Where are we classifying TPS, Trump Protection Syndrome? The urge to protect a pedophile, a con man, a convicted felon. I want to know where the mental health sliding scale is on that. So while we talk about this distraction, while Trump once again messes with our stock market and says a deal with Iran is any day now, and of course the stock market starts to take off. I guess there was something that happened in the arena of chips. Joe Kilgallon joins us in studio. I'm going to put you in the corner. Joe, sit in the corner. Joe, who I assume is like me, all things Chicago. Hey, Joe.
Hey, how are you, Patty?
I made you run around a little bit there. Joe is joining me on Thursday night for the all kids. Let me reset. Can we do
Kids Above All?
Kids Above All. Thank you, because it used to be all kids years ago. Kids Above All stand-up comedy event at the Den Theater. We made you do a little promo video. Isn't that fun to do?
It was fun, and I'll tell you what. If it was called All Kids, I wouldn't do it because there's this one kid down the street who I can't stand him, Patty, and I don't want him to be helped.
But we do love Kids Above All.
Oh, we do.
I'm just saying. Hey, Joe, I'm going to let you settle in for a second. I like your baseball hat.
Thank you. It's a old school Cubs hat, and on the side it says a century of Cubs at Wrigley Field because 1916 to 2016 marked 100 years of Chicago Cubs baseball at the corner of Clark and Addison.
I believe I got to sing the seventh inning stretch because WGN had turned over their broadcasting rights. Do you remember this? 2 years before the Cubs won.
Yes, I remember that.
I got to sing the seventh inning stretch. And by the way, they did not broadcast us. Oddly, Pat and Ron were in the stands. They transferred the broadcast out there, but nobody could hear us sing, which really seems appropriate for my singing abilities. When I told my mom I was singing the seventh inning stretch, I was going to be singing with Pete McMurray and Nick Giglio, and she said, "Can you stand behind them?"
Why? Why on earth would she say such a thing?
She was just very nervous. She knows I'm self-conscious about my singing. Let's just say in grade school when I was in the choir, one of the parents said, Patty, louder doesn't mean better. So just saying,
ouch.
there's that. So at any rate, to that, though, the Chicago Cubs, who I have followed my entire life, I do love the Cubs. I'm not in love with them anymore. I think there's a distinction.
I hear you on that. That's acceptable.
Right? A little bit with the franchise, with the owners and the environment around it. I do love your videos from Wrigley. Now, how were you in an empty park? What were you doing at Wrigley for some of those videos you made?
I can't disclose that information.
That was very cool.
I'm so very sorry.
That was awesome.
I can tell you off air.
Okay, fine. That's fine.
But yeah, I got to do some fun little ranting videos there. It's a tough thing with sports ownership because I don't think you're going to find too many owners of sports teams that don't have a little bit of something that's going to make you shake your head.
Yeah.
A little sketch. That's the way to say it. I mean, the Cubs do have one of the only female owners.
Okay.
She owns 25%, Laura Ricketts.
That's
she
fair.
is openly a lesbian too, so that's nice. But there are some things that makes you shake your head a little bit, and it is disappointing. What breaks my heart is that the Green Bay Packers model is really the model that every city should have.
And for folks who don't know, let them know.
The Green Bay Packers are owned by the citizens of Green Bay.
Yeah.
So they elect like a board. Everyone has a share. If you were a citizen of Green Bay, I think you have to live there for X amount of years, though. You can't just rent an apartment and get a share. I'm pretty sure, at least. But it makes sense that the cities would own it because you've got these owners who, again, why? You know what I mean? And people will say, well, they bought the stadium. Not really anymore. We take the risk out of it. The vast majority of these stadiums are taxpayer funded. The whole idea of you better because we'll leave if you don't. And then people think, well, we need these jobs. But the studies have shown it doesn't really benefit taxpayers in the long run to be upfronting these stadiums with tax money. It just doesn't. And I think with the citizens of a city owning it, there's a little bit more pride at stake.
Yeah. And
they'll put the fans first because none of these teams put the fans first. I love the Chicago Bears. Grew up loving them my whole life. They're not putting the fans first. They never have. They could care less. If you're a Bears fan listening right now, you need to know that they do not care about you. They don't. No. You're just dollar signs. Because if they cared, they would try to do more and try to keep a connection to the city. And they're not interested in that. They're interested in filling their pockets and making as much money as possible. And when people say you can't blame the Bears, my response to that was like, really? They've one Super Bowl appearance. Look, they won a Super Bowl when I was a few weeks old. But one in my life, 2007.
Sorry, go ahead.
They went to the Super Bowl, or maybe it was a year, or less than a year, I think. But they went in 2007, lost to the other Indiana team. Looking back, we could have called that the Indiana Bowl. They lost to the Colts.
Right.
And everyone acts like, well, you can't blame the Bears, I'm like, why are we bending the knee to a team that might be run worse in the state of Illinois, which is saying something.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm very hurt by all this.
I was at a conference the other day on Thursday when the news broke that the Bears have announced they're going to move forward with the stadium in Indiana, and I was sitting at the hotel bar. So we were all watching the news as it was coming in, and this guy was walking through. He was wearing a Bears shirt, and someone went, "Oh, did you see the news about the Bears?" He goes, "What? What happened?" And they go, "Oh, they're going to move. They're going to go forward with the stadium in Indiana." He goes, "Oh, that's okay. I'll watch them anywhere." I thought you would tell me that Caleb lost his arm or something, like he was just worried if he got hurt. He didn't care. I mean, I think there are a lot of fans who, like, we are in a bubble of people who are mad about where it should go. I mean, there's the politicians who want the jobs to go and the unions that want it either in Arlington Heights or in Chicago. The mayor who clearly had a plan. Remember that big unveiling?
That rendering looked kind of cool in a lot of ways, but at the end of the day, and he even said, the mayor was on the local sports radio station here in town, and he said Soldier Field's a pain to get in and out of.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah.
There's no mistaking that. As far as like sightlines go in a stadium atmosphere, it's good. I've had a great time there. I saw Oasis there. Concerts, it's very good. But yeah, it is. I don't know why they just couldn't come up with a plan to make it easier to get in and out of. If that's the big thing.
That's
and
a
the
big
Chicago
infrastructure thing, yeah.
Yeah, the Park District owns the stadium. The Bears have never owned their own stadium in their history. So when a lot of people are like, well, it's just good business to own it. I'm like, they've had 100 years to figure out a stadium. It's not like this sprung up on them out of nowhere. They played at Wrigley Field from 1921 to 1970, and then Soldier Field since 71. And they've never paid property tax because, again, they didn't own it. So fine. I'm annoyed that there are some fans. I think I'd be okay with it, believe it or not, Patty, if they did change the name. If they said, hey, listen, it's a better deal for us to go to Indiana. We're going to be the Indiana Bears. Because then it's honest.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Go ahead.
Because my whole life has been, I can never stand when I'm, I'm at Disney World and, someone else has a Bears hat on. Hey, are you from Chicago? Yeah, I'm from Chicago. Oh, cool. I live in the Porch Park neighborhood. What neighborhood do you live in? Hinsdale. Okay, well, that's not Chicago. And that's not a neighborhood, and it's a different upbringing. And there's nothing wrong with being from Hinsdale.
No, nothing
People
at all.
think I'm making fun of the suburbs when I say this. I am not. I'm trying to help you have more pride in your suburb.
Yes.
Because they'll say this too. Well, if I'm in Vegas and someone asks me where I'm from, it's just easier to say Chicago. Oh, really? Because it's hard to say Schaumburg, a suburb of Chicago.
Yeah.
That's not hard. That's a few more words.
Even near Chicago works.
Yeah.
You say near Chicago, then someone, if they're from Chicago, will say, oh, what suburb?
And if they're not, they'll understand how that works.
I'm from near Chicago.
And I know a lot of people will be like, hey, Joe, the New York Giants and New York Jets play in New Jersey, and the 49ers don't play in San Francisco, and hardly Dallas plays in Arlington, Texas, not Dallas, or the Cowboys, I should say. And I say to that is not a point in its favor. That should be against the rules, too.
Right.
Why in 2026 are we all pretending to be from a city that we're not playing in? I guess back in the day, it might have made a little sense, but I suppose they're trying to say we're representing that market.
Right.
I still think it's very lame.
I agree. If they go to Indiana, you can be the Hammond Bears.
Be fine. Because
It sounds like Hammond Bears.
Yeah. People are saying they should be called the Hammond Honey Bears. Which
dear.
the Honey Bears was the nickname of the very short-lived cheerleaders that the Bears had for a little while there. That's the thing, too. I just don't think that by going by Chicago Bears, you're trying to maintain that coolness. I got to be part of the American Writers Festival this past weekend. And the writer I interviewed was a guy named Randall Simon, and I highly suggest reading his book, everyone. It just came out. It's called The First All-Star Game, Babe Ruth, FDR, and a Crossroads of America. And it opens with Chicago is like the main character in it because it talks about when Cermak's assassination, because it wasn't an assassination toward Cermak, but it was towards FDR, but the assassin missed FDR and got the Chicago mayor Cermak. Anyway, there's a lot of interesting things there with politics, but one of the things we were talking about was that Chicago's cool. We're a cool city. Yeah, we've got our potholes and some violence, and there's problems, and things could always be better. Like with any city, things can be better. But we're cool, and that's why they want to be known as the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
Because that sounds cool. Hammond, Indiana Bears isn't cool.
No.
But you know what? Their fight song's done. What are the lyrics in the fight song? Bear down Chicago Bears. And the other big lyric is, you're the pride and joy of Illinois. That's the lyric. And the Bears had the best fight song in sports. And now that's, to me, it's dead.
But by the way, well, let's continue talking when we come back. We have Joe Kilgallon, comedian Joe Kilgallon in studio with me. You can follow him on Instagram. You can check out his YouTube channel where his comedy special is. You can enjoy that as well. And we'll talk more when we come back. He'll be joining me, Annabelle Laval, Kevin Bozeman, Katie Miners on Thursday at the Den Theater for our comedy fundraiser, Stand Up for Kids. Kids Above All. Go to kidsaboveall.org to get tickets, and or go to their Facebook page as well and their Instagram. And then you'll see Joe's face tomorrow. I think they're going to edit that for you. More in a moment on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle. We'll be right back. Oh, first, our sponsors. Thank you to our sponsors, Pride Coffee Roasters. They'll be sponsoring our Pride Parade float this year. We're so thrilled to have them join us, and we will be joining them on Sunday at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market. They'll be in person selling their incredible coffee. It's single origin, roasted to order coffee beans, but you can buy a bag this Sunday at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market in the market proper at the park. So we're going to be outside at Lawrence and Long, right across the street from the post office there on Lawrence. We also want to thank our friends at Replica Chicago, who will also be sponsoring our Pride Parade float. They're over on Milwaukee Avenue. Joe's actually wearing one of their shirts, and I'm wearing one of their hats. You can go to Replica Chicago. Hold on. I think it's repshy.com is their website, but we'll learn more about them because we just found out today that they will also be sponsoring us. As well, Chicago Community Acupuncture is also Dr. Jason Bissell sponsoring the Pride Parade float. If you are interested, you can email me, pvasquez@heartlandsignal.com. That's pvasquez@heartlandsignal.com. And thank you to our sponsors of Social Change, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and Illinois Veterans for Change. We also want to take a break here. Before, we want us to say thank you to Source Solar. Go to source.solar, make an appointment with Peter Sorellis. Maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house or business. More after this.
The Ben Joravsky Show.
Lindsey Graham, this is an excerpt from his special grand jury interview. Listen, he thinks he's cheated out of the election. If you told him, meaning Trump, Martians came and stole votes, he'd be inclined to believe it. One more time. This is Lindsey Graham, under oath. If you told Trump Martians came and stole votes, he'd be inclined to believe it. Donald Trump's assertions that the election was stolen from him are about as well-founded as if he said Martians stole it from him. He made it up.
The Ben Joravsky Show. Saturdays at 5 p.m. on WCPT.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation with comedian Joe Kilgallon. He's guest co-hosting with me today. We've got more comedians coming in studio. Actually, later we'll have Soli Santos joining us, and Evie's going to join us for their show coming up at Comedy Plex. We're also going to be joined in studio by a candidate who just recently ran for Congress, and we're going to catch up with her and see how things are going in her world. Joe, I was when you came in, I was also talking about the Knicks game, and I again, I say this with all love to my listeners who love the Knicks. I kind of need them to lose the whole thing so that the hatred that town has for what Donald Trump does is so deep and so seething. But I need to visit farm. Like, people need to feel it. That's what we've talked about this whole year, is that people have not had their hands on the stove long enough to understand the depths of harm that he does to everybody.
I love that analogy, by the way.
What, the
hands on the stove?
Yeah.
That's great. You make a great point. When the series began, even though I'm a Bulls fan,
yeah,
and we kind of have we have a rivalry with the Knicks in the early 90s, but we beat them so many times and so badly that it was kind of like, whatever. That's why going into this series, I was like, the Knicks haven't won since 1976. The San Antonio Spurs have been a great organization, but they do a thing where when they know they're not going to be good, they tank. They've had a few tank seasons, and they're the team under Popovich, who is a great guy, that started doing the whole load management, which in the NBA, for those of you who aren't NBA fans, guys used to want to play all 82 games. They took pride in that. Now they take healthy days off to keep themselves fresh longer and all that. And I just don't like that, because there's been horrific stories of fans, like when LeBron was with Cleveland, they traveled from Cleveland to Memphis. They bought these tickets in advance, and LeBron didn't play for no reason other than, it's the day off. And it's like, they spent so much money and all that. And so the old school guys... It's
like seeing the understudy on Broadway, which is not... I mean, you're still going to see a great show, but it wasn't what you came to New York for.
Exactly. So now that you mention it, if Trump's attendance at Game 3 sparks a losing streak where the Spurs win, I think I'd be okay with that.
Right?
I think I would be.
I mean, it's kind of... I'm so sorry, Knicks fans, but it's kind of delicious.
I kind of like that.
I'm a Sioux fan. It's sports.
His comment about the NBA was, they're a little left wing, but it's still fun a game to go to.
Well, but here's the thing I was saying earlier. He wouldn't rent property to most of the ball players back when he was deciding who got to live in Trump properties. Just look at the Central Park Five. I mean, the depth of his racism, his hatred for people, his disdain for, at any rate, it just.
Well, and that's the thing too. So him calling everything fake news always cracked me up, because I remember when he was running, and I think after he was elected in 2016, a lot of people said, "Oh, you never heard anyone talk about Donald Trump being racist until he got into politics." I'm like, no, he was literally sued in the 70s for just horrible, for renting practices that were very obviously racist bias there.
Yeah, declining black families.
And wasn't his father tied up with some stuff?
Yes, just all the. You know who probably knows more is probably Jim. Jim's probably got some thoughts on that, amongst other things. Oops, let me make sure I got Jim on. Hey, Jim, you're on with me and comedian Joe Kilgallon. What's on your mind, my friend?
Hi, Joe. Hi, Patty.
Hey, Jim.
Another high speed reckless chase by Trump's secret police this morning in Chicago, about 60 miles an hour. It's 3 of these huge vans are chasing this guy in the morning. They run him into a tree. Now, if he turns into a paraplegic, that'll be tough, because nobody will bother to take care of him. But if you ran anybody else over, God help you too. And they don't even mention who the suspect was or where they were chasing a guy at 60 miles an hour in the morning. 3 huge SUVs, and then 6 finally pulled up. I mean, talk about overpowering a person who just hit a tree, and the money these guys are falling through. And let me make a complaint about AI. Now, I ordered cigars from Philly for 10 years. Now that they're going to an AI system, it takes about another 10 minutes to make the order. Today I've been waiting since about 10 o'clock this morning, and it's insane. It's totally insane. And all I can think of is Pope Leo when he called the bank. He said, "Can I get my few bucks out of the bank?" "Well, I don't know. I think you'll have to come in." So finally, he called a priest in the neighborhood that he knew, and the priest came and said, "Can I take that bundle of cash with me for Pope Leo?" I mean, this is crazy, Patty. I mean, I don't know how we're going to get used to this, and what is the benefit of this insanity? That's what I want to know. Maybe a medical breakthrough here or there, but in the meantime, we'll need artificial intelligence just to get our mail. Anyway, Joe and Patty, you guys have a great show.
No kidding.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. Let's get to Dave in Hoffman Estates. Hey, Dave, what's on your mind, my friend?
Hey, Patty, I was just telling Lady B about that incident with that helicopter in that Strait of Hormuz.
Yep.
And
what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's one of them Trump's Reichstag moments, because what I read now, it didn't say nothing about being shot down, and it says that these guys were on a routine. They were planted on the Oman coast, which is west of Iran. And all the other stuff is right there. That they got picked up in that 2 hours later with that surface drone, and that stuff. But right now it says, according to the command, and the cause of the incident is under investigation. They didn't say nothing.
So your thinking is that this might be are you saying it's a reason for the United States to continue to attack Iran, or?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I just want to make sure I was clear on that. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Because he's been painted into a corner, and he ain't got no way out. He wants to get out, So he wants to.
There's a website called Defense Mirror. I don't know if this is like some inside military guys, but they say that that it might have been on a mission to attack Iranian boats in the Strait of Hormuz. But that's just, again, that's all speculation. You're speculating, but who knows?
In that time when that one pilot, or that backseat pilot or whatever it was, missing for a couple of days, and they went with 2 C-130s, and they had to blow them up. I think they were looking for the uranium on that one.
Right.
And but
wild.
Anywho, but
it's crazy.
But on that not Super Bowl, but on that basketball game last night, where Trump is saluting.
Oh, God.
You realize he's supposed to have it on his heart, but you realize coming on the 14th of 2018. He saluted a North Korean general that time when he went up to Panmunjom in his first tour as president. One of our enemies.
Yeah, that's right.
Salutes that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just one of the many embarrassing things he's done.
Yep.
God, and I'll leave with this, Patty. You comedians might like this one. I told Joan yesterday with the Spencer Pratt, you call it a Pratt ball now, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
I like
you got
the pun.
me. You got me. You got me with the pun. I do love a pun. Like Rena Calm. I like a pun. Let me grab Kirk. Kirk, what's on your mind, my friend?
Hey, Patty. I have the perfect solution for this Bears moving out of Illinois or Chicago.
Yes,
so why don't we just go get another football team?
I like
Let's
it.
get a football team that used to play in Chicago. The Cardinals of Arizona. They were a Chicago team.
They were. They played a few seasons at Wrigley, but they played the majority of them at Comiskey Park. That's why if you ever meet a White Sox fan who's also a Packers fan, it's because when the Chicago Cardinals left in 1959, they're more than likely their grandfather never got over that. That's why I meet Sox and Packers fans a lot. Because I remember wondering myself, well, why would you be a Packers fan when you're from the south side of Chicago? And because the Bears were the north side team and the Cardinals were the south side team.
Interesting.
Well, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars does have a Chicago connection. I forget his name now. And they don't do that well in Jacksonville. It's easily the weakest of all the NFL markets, Jacksonville, Florida. It's a college town. They should never have started a team there in the first place. So that would be an interesting one. And the Jaguars nickname would fit very well with how Chicagoans speak, if you know what I'm talking about.
The Chicago Jags coming at you. I like it.
I like it.
I think
Great
we're
idea.
onto something here. All right. I love it.
Thanks for the call.
Kirk, great to hear from you, my friend. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's get one more in before the end of the segment because it's another Indiana Bears conversation. What's on your mind, Dan?
Hi, Patty. I just wanted to throw in that I keep seeing conflicting things about the Bears, among so many other things, that this is not a done deal.
That is true. You're right about that. It's not 100%.
It is being played. It is being played as we speak. And I can't say enough accolades for the state of Illinois and Governor Pritzker. I live in Indiana. And the state of Illinois and Governor Pritzker for not caving into this. And God bless them, for billions of dollars that people need to eat and survive, and God knows what. They have not caved, and we'll see what happens. But I saw our great Governor Braun made a statement earlier today that this is not exactly a full deal yet. We're still working on it.
Yeah, all the arrows point towards it. With the Bears statement, it could be a game of chicken. You're right about that. Now, I got to ask, do you live in Lake County, Indiana? Well, did we lose him? We might have lost him.
Dan, wait, hold on a second. Dan, do you live in Lake County?
No, I do not. I live in LaPorte County.
Okay, well, I've always been told
which
that
is 2 counties over.
Gotcha. I've always been told that from my friends. There's a lot of great people in Northwest Indiana, as you know, and they've told me that they've always kind of felt like the forgotten counties being up in the region from the rest of the state and from Indianapolis. So they're going to get hit with a little bit of a sales tax and some other things to help fund this. So it might not be the best deal for them.
Yeah. County tax and then eventually sales tax. This is all not a good deal for Indiana.
No.
But of course, 60% of this, or maybe 70% of this state, have no idea. I've been fighting this for years. I've been trying to get out of this state for years, but now I'm the end of my life. So, but it's beside the point. I admire what JB and the legislature has done with this so far, as far as calling their bluff. I mean, this is ridiculous. Governor Braun has promised them $1 billion plus to come to the EPA, already EPA bad area in Hammond. I don't know if any of you ever been to Hammond or in that area. I worked in it for years. It stinks, and it's contaminated.
That's not great. That's my understanding.
So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, I appreciate you calling, my friend. You have a good evening.
Thank
all right?
you.
Good to hear from you.
Thank you. Keep doing the good work, Patty. God bless.
Thank you. Oh, I love hearing that. I'll take a God bless
right.
you. Yeah,
For sure.
Thank you. Let's take a break here. We are in studio with comedian Joe Kilgallon. He's going to be joining me on Thursday at the Den Theater, along with Anna Belaval from WGN Morning News, Kevin Bozeman, Katie Miners, and it's all to benefit kids above all. Go to kidsabovall.org, buy your tickets, and come join us for an evening of laughter. We would love to see you there. Coming up in just a moment, we are going to be joined in studio by former candidate for Congress. We're going to be joined by our friend who we've had in studio before. We're going to have a Bushra Amiwala in studio with us in a moment on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150. Thanks for being here, everybody.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight with a low temperature of 70, and winds out of the east at 5 to 10. Scattered showers and storms on Wednesday with a high temperature of 91 degrees. The heat index as high as 98. Breezy southwest winds. On Thursday, we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms with a high temperature of 90. Friday, chance of rain with a high temperature around 78 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 86.
Chicago's Progressive Talk WCPT Willow Springs is powered by ComEd. Find rebates and discounts on energy-efficient products at ComEd.com/home savings.
Tom Hartman.
Autocrats generally, particularly those autocrats who have narcissistic personality disorder and are sociopaths, as is, in my opinion, Trump, typically do not tolerate high-profile people around them. They want to be the star of the show, and that's certainly been the history of Donald Trump. The only people that he will tolerate around him are people who, when he says, kiss my ass, they fall to their knees.
The Tom Hartman Radio Program. Weekdays 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on WCPT 820, where facts matter.
This is a WCPT Veteran Minute. In the midst of World War II, a group of Native American soldiers known as the Code Talkers became silent heroes. The U.S. military faced challenge of secure communications on the battlefield, and these men, primarily from the Navajo tribe, were enlisted to develop an unbreakable code. Using their native language, which had no written alphabet, they transmitted vital messages that were indecipherable to enemy forces. The code proved to be an essential asset, particularly in the Pacific Theater, where it helped the Allies win crucial battles. The Code Talkers' courage and ingenuity saved countless lives and turned the tide of the war. Yet, their contributions remained largely unknown until decades later. The legacy of the Code Talkers stands as a testament to the strength, resilience, and invaluable service of Native Americans during one of America's most devastating conflicts. This has been a WCPT Veteran Minute.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
No distractions, just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150. Of course, hello to all of our friends watching on Facebook and YouTube. And we are in studio with guest co-host Joe Kilgallon, who's joining me on Thursday at the Den Theater for Kids Above All benefit. Go to kidsabovall.org. And joining us in studio right now, we're so thrilled to welcome back our good friend who ran for Congress, Bushra Amiwala, ran for the 9th Congressional District. She's a Skokie School Board member and first Gen Z elected official in the entire country, Joe.
That's impressive.
That's insane. It's still insane to me.
Thank you. I love it when you say it like that.
Hi. It's insane. Well, because, here's the thing is that we have all these generational conversations online, Gen X and the boomers. And my son's Gen Z, and he is dazzling. I think a lot of Gen Zers are coming into this world in a very complicated environment. When when I was younger, Joe just let me know that he is 14 years younger than I am without knowing it. But maybe we've talked about this before because he said what year the Bears won the Super Bowl and how old he was. But this is a complicated world.
It is.
I'm sorry. I don't know what I could have done differently. I really don't know. I really don't know.
Right. And honestly, I don't either. I saw this video the other day about someone who was talking about their father's journey to this country and how at $17,000 he could afford to buy a home, which was a lot of money back in the 60s, but still attainable. And he couldn't even have imagined a life for himself, let alone what our generation, the cards that were dealt with.
We flooded the wealth to the billionaires, to the uber wealthy. You could. I mean, I've talked about this so many times. What is different, what we didn't pay attention to, was the massive amounts of manipulating power. I mean, even with the neoliberals, Clinton just always was in the corner and acted that way. Right. And did things like, well, let's make the law and order folks happy. We'll do 3 strikes, things like that. Don't ask, don't tell. We don't want the evangelicals to come after us. So we'll do that at the expense of the LGBTQ community. You know what I mean? Like,
welfare reform was very anti-poor people in a lot of ways. Wasn't fighting poverty or fighting poor people.
Yeah.
So basically, we weren't paying attention is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you guys are.
Right. And someone was always being exploited. And part of it is social media. We have more information at our disposal than any generation before us ever had or could. And that has its own slew of problems.
Yeah, I don't even know. So after your race, first of all, let's talk about this incredible race. It was how many? Were there 12 candidates altogether or something?
There was 16 on the Democratic ballot.
Wow.
Yeah, that is
a crowded field right there.
It was very how did the next day feel for you? Like, what was March 18th for you?
I got the most sleep I had in the previous calendar year, like no doubt. And I didn't feel this dire need to wake up and immediately check my phone. Nothing was on fire. Nothing was an emergency yet. Ironically, I was trending on Twitter the night of the election the next day, and not for good reasons, but the same things that the internet trolls do, saying XYZ candidate was a spoiler for this person. Well, yeah. And it was interesting to target just me, right? There was a lot of other progressive candidates in the race, right? As an example. Yeah. And it's like, they came for the young Muslim girl. Yeah. And that was tough because to me, social media noise is something that even as a younger person, I've only been trending on Twitter twice in my life. Once was the day after the election. Once was 2 weeks prior to that when AIPAC put out a pro-Bushra ad that I did not ask for.
Yeah, that's the thing you can't control. And like it's very hard to dissect or to separate yourself from what people are saying and who you really are. Because when you're explaining yourself, I mean, it's exhausting. You're never going to convince them. They're going to believe what they're going to believe. And what's also hard is that to comprehend that it's not permanent. That emotion is it's transitory. Mm-hmm. But in the moment, it's so intense.
Oh my gosh. So what's so tough is the in real life reaction. I mean, people that live in the district who maybe didn't even vote for me, the messages of support that those people were pouring in was juxtaposed by the sentiment online from people who couldn't even explain what the map looked like. I mean, we were just talking about earlier, joking about the different parts and cities that made up of the district. And that type of nuance or perspective isn't even held by the people who are so passionately commentating about this online.
Yeah, there's so many elements to it. So now, you're back to work. I mean, you were already doing the work that you perform on the Skokie School Board. What do you want to tell folks, first of all, about that work? What that does for communities and how we really do need to be paying attention to the small elected positions?
We're in a time right now where local government is the check and balance that our federal and national government isn't delivering for us right now. We're in a time where our executive branch is able to pick the person on our judicial branch, and our legislative branch isn't in a majority right now. So there is no checked power in those 3 branches of government, but in local government is where that steps in. I mean, we were able to pass anti-ICE ordinances at the school board and village level. Skokie's a village. And that means that when we have ICE's secret police, right, Trump's secret police, this terror that is raiding our streets, we have local government stepping in and actually having a meaningful impact. And that's why this work matters the way it does.
Absolutely. And Joe, I mean, I feel like I didn't go to enough school board meetings. Because you have kids in school.
I do. I have a 9 and a 7-year-old both in school, and I know that is wildly important. Local school board levels, being part of that and everything. I've got friends who are saying we wouldn't need this urge to move out to the suburbs, which a lot of people feel like they have to do at a certain point, which no offense to the Village. Skokie's great. I actually have a friend who wants to get the Village, that brown sign that says "Welcome to Skokie" as a tattoo. And he's for real.
Wow.
Lisa Traeger, great comedian.
Wow.
Lisa Traeger's from Skokie.
Oh, sure.
She was talking about getting that as a tattoo. So yeah, that's where real change happens, where you could actually see it. Because so many politics, it's a dirty game, politics. You've run for office.
Yeah.
And you know what's sad to me is that when you see great people like the two of you running, it's almost like they don't have a chance. They're too good. They're too good at people.
There's no way.
And I hate that I have that cynicism towards it.
I know.
But I do know at your PTA, your local school boards, that's where you actually see change get happen. The funding, the better use of money, and all that kind of stuff, because it impacts kids, and that's the future.
And I don't blame parents and people who are working in guardians for not being interested in attending school board meetings. They're not the most interesting. I mean, what was really fascinating, though, was the year I got elected in 2019 was the year that I helped spearhead live streaming and recording our school board meetings. Who would have thought? It was not happening before that. So unless you were physically in the room, there was no way to actually know what had gone down. I mean, sure, you can read the meeting minutes, but that's such a minute version of what's actually happened. So that is another example of how innovation doesn't have to be something super transformative, but it might just be in front of our faces.
And that's what I try to encourage folks. I know that I'm a dork. I used to run home, and this is how old I am, Gen Z, a millennial. I used to run home and watch the Iran-Contra hearings that were being... I remember Ollie North raising his hand, but I do believe in watching, and ILGA.gov, folks. That's where you can watch committee hearings in our state legislature. Right now, they're done for the year until a veto session.
Was that broadcast in color television, by the way?
I'm
just teasing you. I'm sorry.
I was in grade school. I'm like, I have to go and watch the Iran-Contra hearings. But people should be watching. I mean, this. If you're not paying attention, they make decisions without you. Mm-hmm. So how can folks in Skokie tune in to be a part of the board meetings?
Mm-hmm. And not just Skokie. I love being a connector, right?
Yes.
When you're the only in the room, it's actually lonely, and it should not be a special feeling, although it might feel like that. So not just the Skokie School Board, but any school board, you can go to your school board governance website and find a YouTube link where you can see the live stream or post-recorded board meetings. And if you are unable to attend a board meeting, to give a public comment, which is up to 3 minutes, it's documented, it's your thoughts and opinions and feelings about whatever, you can type a public comment that I, as the secretary of the board, have to read or acknowledge and summarize during the board meeting. So it is easier than it ever has been before to be someone that is engaged and invested and interested. And that alone shows that people are paying attention, which is probably the biggest check and balance we can be offering our government right now.
What do you want to share with us today? I mean, I know that it's been a few months since your campaign ended, since the race ended. We're heading into the summertime, obviously all full throttle now, but kids are pretty much out of school almost. Mm-hmm. What do you want people to know about the work that you're doing and what you're focusing on?
One thing, this is kind of on a personal level, not just in the school board member hat that I'm wearing, but we really need to take advantage of being outside. And this was an analogy, I would say, but I'm touch grass. We really need to, as adults and as people that, again, are passionate folks in society. Not everything is the way that it seems online. And same, we see that impact on our kids. I see the way that curriculum even is being slightly pushed more on these Chromebooks and tablets and laptops, and that's awesome. And there's a time and place for that. And yes, the AI revolution is coming, but there is benefit in pen to paper writing. There is benefit in reading a book. There is benefit in sitting outside and putting your phone away for an hour before bed. These types of things actually do make a meaningful impact. And I feel what better message to have that delivered than from a fellow young person.
I love that. Joe, are you familiar with, have you taken, let me rephrase this. When I go to the forest preserves, I'm often a Caldwell and LeBas, and I know that there have been some situations, but that's kind of always been the case. Have you had a chance to go hiking or take the kids to the forest preserve?
Yes. I think Caldwell, the one off, there's a parking lot off of Central.
Superdog.
Yeah, near Superdog.
Yeah.
Well, I take Central, and you could take a right, and then you could walk over that bridge with the river.
Isn't that great
Some
over there?
turtles down there, which is nice.
Yes.
There's also turtles in Indian Boundary Park off of Lunt Avenue there. Mm-hmm. They've got a little lagoon that's nice. Yeah, I mean, the Cook County's got a lot to offer with the forest preserves.
It really
it's
does.
very nice. I've had some cousins who work for it. I agree with you. There needs to be a push for more outside time. In regards to iPads and Google and Chromebooks and everything like that, it's not. I know that's the future and all that, but they're going to get there eventually. This idea that everyone needs to start sooner, I think that's a failure on our part as parents. Everyone's starting things sooner. When I was a kid, I didn't start playing t-ball till I was 7. Now there are kids who are going into their 4th season at 7. They started 4, 5, 6, 7's their 4th season, and they're getting burnt out and they're not liking it as much. I wonder why. It's And then there's the little problems that come with it. Like everyone will say, boomers will say stuff like, "Oh, you guys with your technology have it so good." Yeah, but then it fails. And then it's annoying. We have all these little annoyances in our lives. Like I've got a minivan because I've got 3 kids. I need the minivan. The one sliding door will start to slide and then stop and shut itself.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, do you remember before when I could just open the door and use my little bit of muscle to slide it? Why do we have to go? There's some things where it's like, we don't need this. Yeah. Why are we inventing things for the sake of it? And it's just adding little annoyances to our lives. And yeah, sure, it's not the 1800s where where's the next meal coming from? And there's some dust and now I have tuberculosis. But it's still, there's still a lot of problems that we're putting on ourselves because of supply side economics.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
I know that you have a lot to do. You're a busy woman. What do you want to leave our audience with? What your plans are, what you'd like to, just share with them.
Yeah, I'd love to stay connected with folks that are either listening, and I appreciate the invitation to be back on. It's awesome to be back in studio, but also I know that 27 municipal elections are coming up for the city of Chicago. And even though I'm in Skokie, there is a lot that I've learned and perspective I have to offer, whether it be from a policy standpoint, a marketing and comms standpoint. So we all will be watching what that message looks like. And the last thing I'll leave you all with is that something I appreciate about my race in the 9th was that we saw people running to the left. And I think it's really awesome that we're able to embrace progressive values without thinking that we're leaving people behind, because progressive politics do work, as opposed to people running to the middle or to the right. And that's something I will personally be looking out for this upcoming 27.
I know that I'm going to take one more minute. I'm going to go 1 more minute past your, I think that ranked choice voting would have made the world a difference in your race.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we passed ranked choice voting in the village of Skokie, but the county level did not pass it. So, for example, I think Oak Park was another village or neighborhood, whatever they're called, city that passed ranked choice voting. But because Cook County does not have it, it doesn't. And it is really unfortunate. I think it's easy to campaign against a boogeyman as opposed to campaigning for something. And that is another thing that we saw in our race, too, not just in our district and in our state, but across the country, across midterms as well.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing your insight, your experience, your perspective. It's Bushra Amiwala. She's a Skokie School Board member. She recently ran for Congress. You can find her on all the social medias. What's the best way for folks to find you?
Yes, all social media, Bushra Amiwala, my first and last name @gmail.com. Looking forward to staying connected.
Well, we will see you again. And please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to have you anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. More conversation when we come back on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150. Thank you all for being here. They're good.
Progressive, a political movement interested in furthering social and political reform to eliminate corruption. This is Dr. Anna Pellick from Total Dentistry, and as a healthcare provider, we typically shy away from discussing politics, so I won't. Bipartisan reform requires setting goals, hard work, transparency, and truth. It takes a team united on a mission. At Total Dentistry, we have that team. We, United, want to provide you with the best products and care possible. We believe in advanced technology and continuing education. Our goal is to help you achieve a happy, healthier smile. But to many of you, this is all talk, and talk is cheap. So I invite you, the consumer, to put us to the test. Visit us at TotalDentistry.org. Call 847-358-2477. You be the change to improve your community, and let us be the change to improve your smile. Total Dentistry, 847-358-2477.
If you're purchasing a new home or refinancing your existing home, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Corey called to consolidate his debt and was so happy with my advice, he left me this 5-star Google review. Quote, "I was looking to pay off debt, so I reached out to David after listening to his radio show. David called me personally and walked me through my options. He shot it straight. There was no beating around the bush or pushing me to sign anything. If any of my family or friends need anything related to a mortgage, I'll give them David's number because you can't get better or more honest service. Thanks, Corey. I strongly encourage everyone to check out our close to 600 5-star Google reviews from listeners like Corey. Team Hochberg helped Corey and thousands of radio listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. That's 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. Atlantic Coast Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 643114.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150. Hello to all of our friends listening on Facebook or YouTube or watching us perhaps. And of course, you have all of your tune-in apps, all of your radio apps that you can sync with your car. I know that all new cars have AM, but whatever. Joe Kilgallon joins me in studio. We'll be at the Den Theater. Do you have AM in your car?
Yes, new cars don't have AM?
I was just I thought they
That's
all.
awful.
Well, there are Republicans and Democrats who are fighting to have AM be standard. They say because of the new the car makers say that it interrupts the signal, like if it's a hybrid or electric. There's a whole thing about it. So all politicians are trying to save it because 340 million people still listen to terrestrial radio. It's still our emergency broadcast system.
Yes.
So they're trying to fight for it to be standard required in all cars. But right now there are a lot of cars that don't carry AM, but you can sync your radio apps to that. Like Roosevelt, what do you listen to us on? What are you listening on, Roosevelt?
Patty and guest.
Joe. It's Joe Kilgallon. Yes.
Joe. Oh, I got a bad memory. I'm sorry, folks.
That's all right.
You get to be 70. You forget where you put your remote control.
You're 70? You don't look 70. I've met you. You don't look 70. I know you've told me that before, but I forget.
Yeah, I do a lot of exercise, Patty. I used to play a lot of basketball with my kids.
Oh, good.
So I was always very active. So before you ask me if I'm hydrating, I'm a little high because I just had 2 Tecates, ice cold.
Hey, that counts. That's a beverage.
Right? Yeah, but
I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't recommend it because that dehydrates you. The
It's
alcohol.
True. That's fair.
I only have 2. My limit is 2, or half a tall boy because I can't handle the liquor anymore. I don't know about Jim, but I can't handle it anymore.
Okay.
Let me jump on this game from yesterday.
Let me set this up first of all, folks. We were talking about the New York Knicks, and I contend that I kind of, in a way, want the Knicks to lose it all, so they'll have a deep hatred for Trump. But a listener said, "Don't give Trump that much power." So, what are your thoughts on the Knicks and that game last night?
You know what? Smart minds think alike. That's exactly what I thought yesterday. I'm sorry, Knicks fans, but I was getting flashbacks of when the Bulls used to play the Knicks. They never got over the hump of beating us because of one Michael Jordan. So I hope they win it all. Don't get me wrong. I'm pulling for them. But I was hoping that they would lose yesterday precisely for that. And look, what did we say before about this guy? 2 things. Revenge. And I think that's the reason why he did that, meaning going to the game. He knows that they hate him in his own hometown. So to pay back, he's pushing this on Mandani. He wants him to pay for those $10 million. I think it was $10 million, Patty, of security that the city had to flip for. But But a lot of the people, did you get to see the social media, how all these young people, all these kids, women and men, they were giving them the middle finger in bars and all this stuff? Man. It was New York. And he messed it up for those young people. That game, and here's what makes me mad, Patty. So I think it was a revenge factor, but here's what made me mad. When he was falling asleep, he wasn't falling asleep because he was watching the whole game. Nope. He left at halftime. He left at halftime. And then I was trying to figure out who the knucklehead that was sitting next to him, and I did figure it out. It was the owner of the New England Patriots. You know, I believe they've been buddies. Yep, that's who it was.
I know the Knicks owner was sitting next to him for a stretch of time, too. Dolan, I believe.
Well, thanks for calling in, Roosevelt. That music says I have to go to the break. We'll be back after this. Thank you. We'll be back after this on WCPT at 20 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150.
WCPT replay.
On the line with us is none other than Cliff Cash.
You've got to be loud. You've got to show up. You've got to stand up. You've got to speak up. And I get if you live in a red area or a red neighborhood or you have really red friends or family, it doesn't matter. Fascists feed on fear. If you ever wondered what you might have done during the Civil Rights Movement or during Nazi Germany or during any other pivotal time in history, you don't have to wonder because what you would have done is what you're doing now. And if you're being fearful and quiet, then you're part of the problem, and you would have been in those historic moments as well. So put a sign in your yard, post on social media, and take these people to task. And all you have to do is learn the truth because they're going around screaming lies. And only about half of us are out here even whispering the truth.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning's easy with Active Liver from New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. The U.S. official tells AP an Army Apache helicopter that crashed off the coast of Oman went down after colliding with an Iranian drone. It's unclear whether the collision was intentional. Saga Magani has President Trump's comments on the incident.
President Trump says Iran was responsible for the downing of an Army helicopter near the Strait of Hormuz. Shortly after the Apache attack chopper went down, the president was asked last night what happened.
We are going to issue a report tomorrow. But the pilots are fine.
He now posts the military has told him Iran was to blame and adds the U.S. must, of necessity, respond to the attack. U.S. Central Command says a Navy drone boat retrieved the pilots, who had spent 2 hours in the water off Oman's coast. It was the U.S. military's first known drone rescue at sea. Sagar Magani, Washington.
U.S. Central Command now says it has begun strikes on Iran, describing them as a proportional response to unjustified Iranian aggression. An Iranian state media reports explosions have been heard on an Iranian island in the strait. Oil prices eased today. A mixed finish on Wall Street. Tech shares dragged the Nasdaq down nearly a full 1%. The S&P lost 0.3%, but the Dow rose 86 points. House Republicans have passed a nearly $70 billion bill to fund immigration enforcement agencies for the rest of President Trump's term in office. A federal judge has permanently blocked Alabama from executing an inmate with nitrogen gas, ruling the method cruel and unusual punishment. And Charles de Ledesma reports the Ebola outbreak in eastern Congo continues to claim lives.
At least 100 people have died less than a month after authorities in Congo declared an outbreak in the east of the country. Out of the 550 cases confirmed as of Sunday, there have been 19 recoveries. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
This is AP News. It's Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final in Las Vegas tonight, where the Carolina Hurricanes are down 2-1. Kevin Coolbaugh updates the NBA Finals.
Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs snapped the New York Knicks' 13-game playoff win streak with a 115-111 win in Game 3 of the NBA Finals return to Madison Square Garden.
It really shows what teams are made of.
Wembanyama amassed 32 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks as San Antonio cut New York's series lead to 2-1.
It's hard to put your head out of the water, and sometimes it's like I don't even got to watch the game back right away. I just need like a little time off, let my brain cool down,
President Trump was booed loudly by fans inside Madison Square Garden when he was shown on video screens during the national anthem. The boos ended when the U.S. flag followed him on the screens. I'm Gethin Coolball.
The latest at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight with a low temperature of 70, and winds out of the east at 5 to 10. Scattered showers and storms on Wednesday with a high temperature of 91 degrees. The heat index as high as 98. Breezy southwest winds. On Thursday, we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms with a high temperature of 90. Friday, chance of rain with a high temperature around 78 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 88.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
More than 4 million adults in the United States have glaucoma.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Nearly half of those with glaucoma don't even know that they have it until vision loss has occurred.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments.
Schedule a comprehensive eye exam to protect your sight.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal. And the entire studio is filled wall to wall with comedians. 3 women in comedy, and Joe Kilgallon surrounded by women in comedy.
I love it.
Well, you know what? We're used to we're the only ones in the room that, saying there's a lot of guys. Do you not have a microphone? What's that one?
I don't know which. I thought she did.
That's a microphone. Yeah, lift that up.
Why are you acting like you
Yeah, why are you so scared of that? Oh, you don't have can you not hear me when I talk? It's big. Can you hear? It's big. Can you hear me?
Said.
Can you hear me when I talk?
Yes. Wow.
The headphones are only for if someone calls in, really.
Got it.
So, and to hear yourself. If you,
I don't need to hear myself.
Why? Did you want to come on the show today? I don't know what's happening.
You missed it.
I did.
Nervous.
Go ahead. You're nervous.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
But you've been here before. What's happening? I don't understand.
Well, Patty, you're very intimidating. Everyone knows that.
You are.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm kidding.
It's that tough exterior of yours.
Yeah.
Well, while you're looking for the headphones, can I finish what I was telling Soli?
Yes. Please
So
do.
we're talking. Ireland got brought up because you were just there, right? Is that why we brought up Ireland?
Yeah, I was just there.
There we go. So the great connection between Irish and Mexican people was that during the war of the United States versus Mexico, a bunch of Irish immigrants came over and they were like, all right, well, you could fight in the U.S. Army and that'll be a quick path to citizenship. And so they're all right. And then they went out there and they heard the Mexican side of the story and they go, no. And then they switched sides.
I love that.
They switched sides in the middle of the war.
I don't know. I just feel like historically, the people of Ireland have just been amazing when it comes to collaborating and with other countries and other cultures for various reasons.
The other thing is, in addition to that, so in Mexico City, in this beautiful park, there is a tribute because many of those soldiers were executed in the square in Mexico by the United States Army. So there's a whole wall of Murrays.
I think all of them were.
And
yeah.
Fitzgerald, they were all executed. But they were also It's going to make me crazy. There's an Irish band that has an entire album, and Liam Neeson actually narrates some of it.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Look
I
that
can't.
up.
I have the album. Obviously, I'm Irish and Mexican, so I have that album. Just saying.
Well, have you heard Canelo Alvarez? So Canelo Alvarez is this great boxer, born and raised in Mexico, but he has reddish hair. And so people were asking him what he was that. And he goes, I think I got a great-great-grandfather that was Irish. And people were like thinking, all right, maybe a couple people stayed behind during that time period.
I wouldn't be surprised in the least.
I have got to. I thought I took a picture of it. I just found a picture. My mom just found a picture of me when I was a baby. It was 1972 because that's when I was born. Actually, it was 1971, so I was already a year old. But I'm surrounded by my brother and my cousins, and like dark skin, dark hair, and I have the reddest hair. I didn't know I was a ginger when it was so red. I'll send you guys a picture later.
Wow.
Super red. So yeah, I love the connection, but then also like whether it's Puerto Rico or Mexico, there the Catholicism is also part of it. There's a rich connections, I think, whether it's storytelling, celebrating families the way that we do. There's a lot of similarities and a lot of bonding, I think.
Well, my cousin's Irish, obviously, and his wife's Mexican. And so whenever I've come across certain things, that festival being one of them, because there's a festival in Detroit celebrating those two cultures.
I didn't know about it.
So, yeah, I was sending his way.
And there's a history with Puerto Rico. I mean, they migrated and they worked on the plantation, and it was a big to-do. And I won't mention Carmen. We'll talk about that.
Why can't we talk about Carmen?
Well,
are you mad at her? What's happening?
No, Carmen did her DNA.
Oh, when she did that, we're talking about the
confession.
This kind of started also because I was messing around with, because we were going back to the fact that Evie was nervous. I was like, you've been here before, remember? And she was like, only one time. I said, no, you've been here a couple of times. One time was with her sister, Carmen, and we were joking about the fact that she did her closet confession with me about the fact that her sister did her DNA, and her sister has Irish in her DNA, but she does not have, Evie does not have Irish in her DNA. And I was like, you have different fathers? And she's like, no.
I don't think so.
No.
I question the accuracy of these DNA tests because I've heard about siblings who look exactly alike and they've gotten like different percentages of things.
But the joke is we've always teased her that she didn't look like the rest of us. She's taller, and we always joked about it.
She is taller, but you do resemble each other.
I will say this. I know of at least two families who have been deeply impacted by DNA testing. One, two horrible results.
They found out that they had siblings that they didn't know they had siblings. I feel like that's happened, I think, multiple times.
Well, there was one who found out he had a child he didn't know he had. Yes. Whoa. Yeah. Wow. So they tracked him down. Yep. And the other was the father was not their father's. Yeah.
Oh, he finding out thinking that these kids were his kids and then finding out that they're not biologically his kids.
Finding out that they find out that their dad was not their dad, that their mom had.
Did the dad know? I mean, that's still difficult, but did the dad know too?
The dad suspected but never really knew.
Oh man.
So it's horrifying.
That's devastating. Horrible. Yeah, for sure.
And I've seen those are just the two that are. Yeah, my husband's listening, going, "Shut up." I'm going to shut up now.
I'm sure Carmen's listening. I'm sure Carmen's listening.
By the way, your husband was not indicated until you just said that.
Yeah.
If I throw that out there. No one knew what was going on in your brain. You just brought up that your husband told you to shut up. I'm like,
could still be my side of the family. It's not, but could still be my side of the family.
Sure, there you go.
Okay, to the Irish-Mexican element of the conversation, because my father was second generation Irish. My mother came to the United States to learn English, and that's why I'm a No Sabo kid.
Love it.
I just how to bring it to the show that they're doing. And still people give me a hard time about it. I did not know this was our name. Like how long is No Sabo? I feel like I just keep learning things.
I don't think that. I mean, I didn't grow up knowing the terminology of No Sabo kid. Mm-hmm. I think that's something maybe that came up more slang like within the last several years.
Okay.
At least from my knowledge.
Yeah, okay. I just learned it from comedians on stage joking about being No Sabo kids. I'm like, oh.
See, but I also I remember the first time I learned about chanclas, right, was Gwen doing a bit about her.
The first time I learned about chanclas was when my mom threw them at me.
See, this is
that's the way I learned it, Soli.
You learn Spanish real fast when
you hear chancla.
Yeah, when you hear terminology of the weaponry that your mother used to discipline discipline you.
Do you know what a chancla is?
I do not.
See, so chancla. Now, see, the thing is, my mom wore wooden Dr. Scholl chanclas.
Oh my gosh!
So I'm really glad she was not a chanclas mom.
Those are not chanclas.
Do you remember those?
Those are like clogs.
Yes. Do you remember those?
Yes.
In the 70s.
No.
So
Yes.
chanclas are I like flip flops. Any sandal.
My mom wore those
slippers, flip flops.
like the little thin ones.
Things like that. Yeah, like
Do you just
sandals.
drop Woolworths as a reference?
Yeah.
Wow,
shit.
I haven't heard
For
Woolworths
Zare?
in
Should
a
we say
long
Zare
time.
or
But like
Venture?
Woolworths went out like what, 30 years ago?
Goldblatt's what?
I love Woolworths.
Zare,
I
Venture.
think Woolworths is still in Australia.
What?
Because you used to go to Woolworths, there was a counter, so you could
That
like
was my
order
first job.
breakfast
I used
and
to
then
be
go
a waitress
shopping.
there.
Really? That's cool. There was one in 6 corners.
We have a caller on the line who would like to join the conversation. It's not my husband nor anybody from my side of the family, but it is this family member. Hello, listener. You're on the air. Hello.
Hello. I want to take issue about DNA testing and finding out that you're Irish or knowing who your daddy is.
I was like, that voice is very familiar. Speak of the devil.
Yes, officer. You've pulled the show over.
Woo! Those are my lights.
Yes, she's law enforcement.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Officer, let me get my registration. Hold on a second.
Yeah. No, I want to pull her No Sabo card first of all. Luckily, we're not No Sabo children. We speak perfect Espanol, and I have a chancletazo for her next time I see her.
Oh boy,
That is not nice.
Evelyn has referred to herself in conversation with me as a sort of Sabo, like where we can speak enough where we can communicate to people, and I say that about myself too. But in terms of like fluency, anybody that talks to me in Spanish more than 5 minutes will be like, okay, I get what she's saying, but I know that this isn't her first language. You know?
No. When I went to high school, that's why I learned that I did not know Spanish. When I took
your sister's
when I
gonna
took
pull
Spanish
up
class.
any second now.
I know she's going to. She knows where to find it. And I will
She
say,
has keys to the
Listen,
building.
check
I don't know
your
what you're
cameras.
doing.
I'm in the back lot. Check your cameras.
I believe you.
That's the Irish in you, by the way. That's getting that
I knew I liked you.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, Evelyn decided to take French in high school. That's why she's a sort of Sabo kid instead of taking Spanish.
Yeah, because I figured out I didn't know Spanish, and it was embarrassing.
Well,
it's horrible. Mr. Alonso pointed it out.
All she can do now is Farrah Shaka.
Como talez-vous?
Now there's 2 languages you studied that you don't know speak Spanish and French.
Listen, when you're born and raised in Humboldt Park and like everyone talks the same, I didn't know. And then I go take Spanish class. I'm like, easy A, right?
No.
I took French because the French teacher at St. Pat's, Madame Thompson, would often make French food for everyone. And I heard it was good. I heard like there was crepes and all sorts of French pastries. So that's why I took it. And then my dad said, wait, you're not taking Spanish? And I tried to justify it by saying, you know, the French discovered Chicago. And then he said, and where are they now? And I was like, that's a very good point.
Very good point indeed.
That's so funny.
No.
So, Carmen, I feel like we've left an item on the table that needs to be addressed. So, do we know why you have Irish DNA? Like, it's been brought to our attention.
Well, my husband's Italian and Irish, so I don't know if they've done any studies on whether that can alter your DNA or not. I do have 5 children. That's all I'll say. But no, they have not scientifically figured out why.
Well, if that's the case, I'm Mexican.
Well, you spit in a tube, right? Did you just finish making out with your husband after you spit in the tube? Right? Like, I don't know. Maybe.
We questioned that one too.
Now, Carmen,
they questioned that one.
Carmen, are you going to be at the show? Is this Thursday at the Comedy Plex?
This Thursday, yes, at 7:30.
I will be there. My sister always guilts me. Always asks me, and I'm always happy to support everything my sister does.
Thanks for voluntarily coming, Carmen. We appreciate you.
Thank you, because it's going to be a great show, Carmen.
I mean, I don't want to put any pressure on you.
It is going to be a great show. No, I love the No Sabo kids. Having raised 5 of them, I think it's a great idea.
I don't want to put any pressure on you, but I do want to give you an option. You don't have to go all the way to Oak Park. I love the Comedy Plex and I love our friends, but I just realized I just booked a guest who are competing. I'm going to be at the Den.
Nice,
Theater,
Carmen remembers.
I didn't
will be at the
realize
Den.
that until today, too.
I know.
I was
Just
like, oh.
You have choices, folks.
You have
Maybe you want to go to
options.
Oak Park. You know what you can do? You can go to No Sabo and make a donation to Kids Above All.
That would be great.
I'm just saying.
yes.
Kids Above All
I
is
love Kids
incredible.
Above All. That is a great organization. I will absolutely do that. But I will be there. I do love my sister.
Fine.
She's great. So I'll leave it on a good note. She's been a very good big sister. I cannot complain, and she always helps me pushes me outside of my comfort zone. So I'm very proud of her and the work she's doing. So you go, sis.
Aw, love you, sis.
I love you too. That's so you keep me out of all of your jokes on Thursday, so you remember what I just said.
Wow, so aggressive.
Thank
Some
you.
cotton onions in here? I mean,
Thank you, Carmen. Have a good one. Be safe.
Bye, Carmen.
All right, bye.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We want to thank our sponsors before we go to the break. Thank you to Pride Coffee Roasters, sponsors of the WCPT Pride Float, as well as our friends at American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, the Illinois Veterans for Change, and our friends at Social Change. I'm just so excited to have all these groups. Replica Chicago will be joining us. PrideCoffeeRoasters.com, PrideCoffeeRoasters.com to order the best single origin roasted to order coffee beans you will ever try. Every cup of coffee tastes like a love letter in a mug. Go to PrideCoffeeRoasters.com. Thank you to our friends at Illinois Problem Gambling. AreYouReallyWinning.org is the website. And thank you so much for all the folks who really put together an amazing conference last week. And I was absolutely honored to join you. So that's AreYouReallyWinning.org as well as 1-800-GAMBLER. And we want to thank our friends at Kids Above All. Joe Kilgallon and I will be performing along with comedians Annabelle Laval, Kevin Bozeman, and Katie Miners. That's this Thursday at the Den Theater. Go to kidsaboveall.org to buy your tickets. I hope to be there on time. Probably I should be because I'm starting the show. More in a moment on WCPT, KKNW, and KTNF.
That's the sound of the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, saving you money and energy. With rebates on Energy Star appliances, so you can come back to a home full of savings. Discover more ways to save at ComEd.com/home savings. ComEd, powering lives.
WCPT Replay. Joining us now on the phone is gay icon's living legend, John Waters. Your body of work has shaped the lives of so many people. Like, even this morning, my neighbor was texting me. She's like, please tell him that Crybaby was my gay awakening.
Funny, because there's no gay characters in Crybaby.
I know. But there's something about, like, your movies, the embracing of camp, the embracing of tacky, the just all-out, just queer counterculture nature. Do you ever feel a responsibility for lifting the voice of the counterculture?
Well, I'm proud of it when people say that, I made them feel okay about themselves. And I wrote a whole book called Role Models about the people that did that for me. Yeah. Everybody needs a bad influence they can look up to.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Hey, Max, you look sharp in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world as a guide dog?
You bet, Daisy. And your purple service dog vest really pops against your shiny fur.
First day on the job for both of us. We've got this, right?
You bet. Dogs Inc. trained us well.
Ready to make a difference for our humans?
Born ready.
Discover how extraordinary guide and service dogs change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
No detours, no distractions. Just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, and of course, hello to all of our friends watching on Facebook and YouTube or listening on any of the available apps that you can sync with your car or take with you anywhere you go. Joining me in studio is comedian Joe Kilgallon, who will be joining me on Thursday at the Den Theater, along with, have you worked with Annabelle Laval before?
A long time ago.
She's great.
But yeah, we know each other enough.
Yeah.
She is very cool.
I feel like we're just talking about Puerto Rican women today. That seems like we have Carmen Navarro-Cohen on the phone. We have Evie Cato in the studio. We have Soli Santos. It's a lot of the Puerto Ricans are prominent.
Well, the Puerto Rican Fest is this weekend.
I've seen. You know what's funny? I feel like I've seen some folks driving around with the Puerto Rican flags, and I honk at them. But like I try to make it like it's hard. You want to make sure you make the honk festive. initiative. Like, I love that you're flying that flag and not have them be mad at you. Like, you're just honking at them for whatever.
Are you supposed to honk when you see them? Is that the thing?
You could.
Think so.
But you
I
yell
think Babe would do the
"Wepa" when you
honking.
yell
Yeah, mine was. I think the understanding is kind of like when motorcyclists see each other, they kind of like it's
And
like
the Jeep
same
people.
kind of note. Yeah, and
And
the Jeep. It's the same kind of note, like, oh, you're a Puerto Rican, I'm a Puerto Rican.
I just honked to say I'm so glad you're flying your flag. And I saw a Pride one with the Puerto Rican logo on it too, which I really like that too.
Nice.
I like that blend.
Was there a rooster or a chicken on that?
I don't know. Is there supposed to be a rooster or a chicken on
There
it?
shouldn't be, but people have flags with
they have the
roosters
Skokie on there now.
Yeah.
too? Yeah, all kinds of
So
stuff.
nobody's ever hit the Wrigley Field center field scoreboard, but they believe that Roberto Clemente was the closest. I bet as I was starting that, you're like, why is he bringing up Wrigley Field right now?
No, I was.
But yeah,
I knew it was going to be good.
They believe he was the closest to hitting that center field scoreboard.
Oh wow!
My dad named all my brothers after Puerto
Baseball
Rican players. One of my brothers was named after Roberto Clemente.
Roberto, who else you got? Who got on the bench?
Orlando Cepeda and Ivan de Jesus were.
All right.
Yeah.
I remember you told me that when we drove out to that.
Yeah, when we
gig
drove
in
out to
Rockford.
that, when we did that show together. Yeah. I sometimes I wonder, who would I have been if I was a boy?
Who was
would
next?
Who would he have named? I bet you I would have been the Roberto Clemente because in the order of where they were named, Bobby, we call him Bobby. Bobby came after, like he was born after me. So I think he was number 2 of the boys. So I think I probably would have ended up getting the Roberto name, and then he would have just gone down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my assumption.
What am I asking?
But while you think of that thought, can I say, I believe Roberto Clemente, and sorry I can't say with the accent, it'll be insulting if I tried, but I think his death is the most tragic in professional sports history. It's got to be. What a great guy.
Yeah.
Plane crash doing humanitarian work, delivering humanitarian aid. It's just
no good deed
so
goes
sad.
unpunished.
That is heartbreaking.
But it is true. It was such a tragedy.
Because Joe is co-hosting with me, and I've had many of my other comedians co-host. A listener is really enjoying your conversation, Joe, and hopes that you'll be on more often. Soli, as you know, has been guest co-hosting with me as well.
Yeah, it's
and needs
always
to come
fun.
back more often.
Yes.
And we have Evie, Cato, who is also joining us. For some reason, suddenly nervous after being here over a dozen times.
I know. It's so crazy.
They have a show coming up on Thursday competing with our show, but that's okay. You can go to their show and make a donation to Kids Above All, or go to our show and just say, we wish we could have gone to No Sabo Kids. So tell folks about Thursday's show.
So Thursday will be the No Sabo Kid Comedy Experience at the Comedy Plex Comedy Club in Oak Park at 7:30. We have a full lineup of Latinos that are No Sabos, which are No Sabos are Latinos that either don't speak any Spanish or their Spanish isn't that great. And I remember we had asked you, Patty, I asked you to be on the show, and you told me you had something that you already were booked for that night, and now we know why. What you were doing.
But next one, I want to do the next one.
Totally.
Are you doing Spanish lessons? What's the experience?
No, it's just, everybody having an opportunity, I think, to talk about their own experiences growing up No Sabos. And it's pretty light. It's like, it's chill. It's going to be light. I feel like a lot of me personally, I think I grew up a No Sabo. Like, I can speak Spanish well enough now, but that didn't happen until I was like pretty much fresh out of college, when I was working as a case manager in foster care in the Logan Square Humboldt Park area. And when they hired me, they were like, can you speak Spanish? And I was like, I'm okay. And they were like, well, say something now. And I was like, me llamo Soli Santos. They're like, you're hired. That was it. That's all I need. But what it did was I had to speak Spanish Monday through Friday every day. And so, just like anything else, when you're immersed in the language, I learned Spanish within 2 months, more Spanish in those first 2 months than in my entire life before that, you know? So that's really where I learned how to do it. But I know what it's like to feel like to be a No Sabo, because I was a No Sabo kid, So I feel like a lot of times No Sabos get kind of like they get a lot of grief for not knowing how to speak the language. Yeah. But yet, a lot of us grew up still immersed in our culture. We're still proud of our culture, where we come, our Latino culture, our Latino heritage. And then it's very frustrating when people kind of dismiss you because you can't speak Spanish, and as if that's the only thing that validates you and your history and your culture and what has help you become the person that you are, right? And you do that with pride. And so I felt like, you know what? I think I would like to pay homage to the Latinos that are proud to be Latinos, but, you know, they just don't know how to speak Spanish for whatever reason. And, you know, they still feel their Latino pride with that. But, you know, it's all fun and games. And also, I always say, you know, No Sabos wouldn't exist without the Joses, you know, the ones that know how to speak Spanish, because, you know, they're the ones that are responsible to teach us. So maybe they should blame themselves. You know, I'm not trying to cause controversy in the radio airwaves, but, you know, I'm just saying, you know, they're the ones that got to teach us.
And that's this Thursday, the Comedy Plex in Oak
That's
Park.
right. Yes. Doors open at 6:30 and the show starts at 7:30.
Great little strip over there, too.
It is.
So much to do.
We always, parking's awesome.
Parking's awesome. You can bring your own food to the venue. So, you know, you could bring, you know, a hoagie. You could bring some arroz con gandules.
Just don't eat it in the front row.
Some tacos. You know, pasteles.
I feel like we need to schedule a taco truck that would be. Or so, I'm just saying, next time you do the show, I would say coordinate maybe with the club and some moving food.
Oh my God,
that sounds
I'm
yummy.
sure the local restaurants would love that.
I know.
I love a good taco truck, though. That's the thing I miss most about living in LA. When I lived in LA for a couple of years, taco trucks are great.
Let me see. You know what? Let me see. Paul, what's on your mind, my friend? I don't want to leave you on the phone too long. What's up? Paul in Seattle?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Hi. I clicked you on because I thought I could bring you in earlier. Did you want to join our conversation?
Yeah. Well, that's why I called. Yeah, we got a long way since I called. You know, did you ever remember the Saturday Night Live routine? And I don't know if it was Bob Costa who was actually on, but they would do this thing as it was a sports thing with Bob. Somebody was playing Bob Costa, and every time we come to a stand, and this was when the Super Bowl, Denver Broncos were in the Super Bowl. So every time Bob Costa would come to a Spanish word like Broncos, he would pronounce it. He was speaking of.
That's
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do, and it was hilarious.
Too funny.
Yeah, a Spanish word, and then he would pronounce it in a really authentic sense. That would be funny if you did that in your accent, Patty. You know, you can say
thank you.
You could do. Well, you can say you can say Patty in the Midwest. I'm Caddy, you know, and then when you say that, you can say that in a really authentic.
Paul, I think Patty already does that actually.
But I always love some tips. Have a good evening, Paul. Was good. Yeah, no, I do remember. I do remember Bob Costa do that. But also, like Michelle Gallardo. Do you notice like she'll do like her whole report? I actually have done a bit about how I've done this for a long time. But like the colder, because they always throw her outside in the cold, and the colder it gets, the harder her accent. She's like Michelle Gallardo. Right? These South trucks are ready to go. Like, she has no accent the entire rest of the news, but she's outside freezing her butt up. Okay, so Carmen Lynch was in town one time. It was the dead of winter. She and I were performing at Zany's, and she hung out with me and my family. We were we were at the museum campus, so like by the planet, what do you call it? The
Shedd Aquarium, Planetarium.
All that, yes. And honestly, you could not have scripted this better. We were walking. She's like, you know, that bit you have about the reporters who are, you know, dark skinned, Latino or black, do they really make them go outside? I am not kidding you. Within moments, Michelle Gallardo is out like waist deep in snow. They like walked her out into a field to have the cameras on her, and I'm like, that's Michelle Gallardo, like on the lakefront during his timing.
Wow,
like,
Carmen Lynch is great.
She's amazing.
She's
Did you see
awesome
that video
comedian.
where someone stormed the stage and took her microphone from her?
No.
She was at Acme in Minneapolis. This guy jumped to the stage and took her microphone, and she was just like,
when was that?
Not too long ago. It was like within the last month or so.
That's
Go to
scary.
her social media.
Wow.
Somebody went to the stage, took her microphone, was like basically taking over. I mean, it was. It's one of those reasons where it makes me not miss comedy clubs. I really like. I
That's
prefer
scary.
doing theaters or like the venue that we're doing. The Den Theater is great. Like someplace like that where I don't know. There's just something a little more like, okay, we are here for an experience. We're not here for the audience to be in on the show. We've gotten too much into the anything can happen situation of comedy shows. I'm not a big fan of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that happened to her.
No.
I saw her when she came in town to do the headline at the Comedy Plex.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was here.
She's fantastic. And all the comics.
I did a show or two with her in LA. Very nice.
Oh.
Tall, too, if I remember.
Yeah, super tall. And she talks about having scoliosis. She talks about it. She's just brilliant, really. She was on Letterman twice. She was one of the last comics that was on before he ended.
And so was local boy Pat McGann. He was one of the last stand-ups as well.
Yeah. Very cool. Let's take a break here and continue the conversation with all the comics that have not been on Letterman. Comedians Soli, Santos, and Evie, Cato. They have a show coming up on Thursday at the Comedy Plex. You can go to comedyplex.com to order tickets and follow them on social media. Soli has her Closet Confessions. And Evie also hosts a showcase in Humboldt Park as well. So we'll talk about that when we come back. Comedian Joe Kilgallon in studio with me, guest co-hosting. He'll be at the Den Theater with me on Thursday. And that's the Kids Above All fundraiser. And we would love to have you there. And if you end up going to No Sabo Kids, please make a donation to Kids Above All, since I'm competing and promoting right now. Also follow Joe on social media. It's Joe Kilgallon on all your social media platforms. And his special is available on YouTube. More in a moment on WCPT 820, Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight with a low temperature of 70 and winds out of the east at 5 to 10. Scattered showers and storms on Wednesday with a high temperature of 91 degrees. The heat index as high as 98. Breezy southwest winds. On Thursday, we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms with a high temperature of 90. Friday, chance of rain with a high temperature around 78 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 86.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT Willow Springs, is powered by ComEd. Visit ComEd.com/facility assessment to learn more about energy savings.
I'm Austin May. I'm running for McHenry County Board, and I am working towards a brighter day for us all. I'm a former teacher, longtime political organizer, and an Army service member, born and raised here. I've worked for Republicans and Democrats from here to D.C. and overseas, and I've always held true to the ideal that is public service. Our county is facing rising costs at the gas station, on our grocery receipts, on our property taxes. Now, I can't alone lower these prices to lower the pressure we're all living under, but I will work tirelessly to move our county forward, to make tomorrow more affordable. I'll never run away from the hard questions, and I will always be available for you. Austin May is a better way forward for McHenry County Board, District 5. Learn more or join the movement at abetterwaymc.com. Paid for by Friends of Austin May.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Joining me in studio, it's an entire panel of comedians. Comedian Joe Kilgallon, who's appearing with me at the Den Theater on Thursday for our fundraiser to benefit Kids Above All. Go to kidsaboveall.org to buy some tickets. Joe, you didn't know you were going to be surrounded by Latina comedians today.
I always prepare myself for that occasion. Every time I leave my house.
You never know.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Oh, by the way, Joe is wearing a great T-shirt from Replica Chicago here on the northwest side of Chicago on Montrose. Nice. I have a new banner behind me.
I love your banner.
Thank you. We won't go quietly back to the 1950s. This is available from Liberal Lawn, which you will find on the Minocqua Brewing Company marketplace. So I invite you to visit there. That's where I ordered it from, and I love that. So thank you so much to folks who pointed that out to me, because I really like that banner. Mm-hmm. There's other ones that I couldn't didn't. They were not appropriate for like just grab them. Well, we'll grab them by the ballot is her other banner she has, which is really good.
That's a good one.
Grab by the ballot. Evie, Cato, and Soli Santos, both comedians who are performing this Thursday at the Comedy Plex in Oak Park. It's the No Sabo Kids. Who else is on the show with you?
Matt Torres, Janice Rodriguez, Cecilia Gonzalez, Christina Gutierrez, Robert Petrez,
Robin.
I'm sorry, we were talking about Robert, the Robert
Roberto.
name. Yes. And then Chris Walker.
Excellent.
Yes, and then obviously Evie and myself were co-hosting.
You know what's interesting to me? I was just thinking about this. So Griffin graduated from college this weekend, and when he graduated from high school, he had you get like these different ropes and sashes when you like different layers of things. I will tell you this: while I am a No Sabo kid, I did not raise a No Sabo kid.
Wow,
so
nice.
I just want to say Griffin is fluent in Spanish.
That's awesome. That's incredible. That's amazing.
And plus, it helps to have abuelita in the house, so he was able to practice with her. And yes, so he is fluent. He doesn't sound like a native speaker. It's very white. I mean, it's the whitest white accent.
That's okay.
It's okay. He needs to live somewhere or do some work with more Spanish speakers. I think that next time when I do the No Sabo, I think that we should do a competition of who knows the least Spanish, and that should be the winner. I think in contrast to my life.
Hilarious.
Yes. And
I would love that.
And you could do it by insulting somebody. You have to. If I don't know the insults, I'll just keep taking it. I can't get mad about it because I have no idea what someone's saying to me, and that I win.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like fun.
That sounds awesome.
Like a roasting.
All right,
like roasting.
Yes.
That sounds fun.
Spanish.
Yes.
Do you took Spanish in high school? Because
I took French. My dad wanted me to take Spanish.
Your French teacher made pastries.
She did. She was great.
So you did it for the food.
Pretty much, yeah. 2 years of French. I know the start of the Hail Mary, and that's about it. Je te salue Marie. That's
I wish I spoke Spanish fluently. And especially now, right, when we have so many people in our community. Do you have family members, and I know that we all have a wide range of politics in our communities, but are Puerto Ricans also feeling the stress of looking Latina? I would imagine they're not being discriminative as far as discerning between Puerto Rican, Mexican, Colombian,
for
the ICE agents.
No, I mean there's been several that have been arrested and have been detained because they were not believed that they were Puerto Rican, and it's happened in a few different states.
For those who, I do have a lot of hate listeners. Can you? Who would like to address the fact that Puerto Ricans are American citizens? I can't. People don't understand. Do you remember this? This was right here at Caldwell Woods. There was a girl wearing a Puerto Rican flag, and this guy was yelling at her to go back to her country.
That happened to me once when I was a kid. I was told by some other kids to go back, and I was like, "To where?
Yeah,
to Wrigleyville? That's where my house is."
Are they white? You became a power lifter. You pick them up and throw them.
I didn't become a power lifter for that. I didn't become a power lifter. I was a bodybuilder.
I apologize.
There's a distinction. Even though they tried to recruit me for powerlifting, but I didn't want to do that. But no, that was more survival for growing up with a house full of boys. Yes. The boys I mentioned. Yes. My father named all after baseball players. I needed to survive, so I did that. For survival.
Now you have Carmen's one of your sisters. How many siblings do you have, Evie?
I have 3 sisters, 2 older sisters, and then Carmen's my younger sister and a younger brother.
Yeah, that's a big family.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I'm basically, I have siblings. They're all half siblings. I have 2 sisters on one side, 2 sisters and a brother on the other side. It was 6 altogether. I'm the only Irish Mexican. Now, Joe, do you have siblings?
Yes.
How many siblings you got?
3.
Oh, and
older sister, younger brother.
Okay, it's a good blend.
2 teachers and a doctor, and then me, a comedian. You know what's funny about that too? Because a friend of mine I hadn't seen in a while, Mike Leibovitz, really great comedian, who was headlining Zanies the other night. He was like, "Oh, look at all the tattoos on you. That's new." And I'm like, "Yeah, I got them all within the last year or so." And I thought to myself, my siblings all have tattoos, but they're in professions where some people might look, a teacher with tattoos. My brother's a doctor with tattoos. Look, people are over the stigma nowadays, which is great because it never really mattered in the first place. But I was the last to get tattoos, and I had a job where no one cares. As a comedian, no one cares of what you got.
Exactly.
So,
There's
I
no
always thought that
HR
was funny.
department.
No, right?
There is not. We probably need one, to be honest.
I don't even know what that would look like.
Yeah,
that poor person would be drinking all the time if we came to them with our problems and all the comedy clubs, the bookers. workers, the other comics, the audience. I mean, like, it takes its toll. I have to tell you, I did an event last week. I mentioned the Are You Really Winning had a conference, the Illinois Problem Gambling Association organization. I don't know how many times you've had to host an event or performed corporate or fundraisers. This was the best. Like, I did one last year where I had to introduce people, and they basically gave me bios from Wikipedia that were like pages long.
Really?
That was horrifying. This was the best. I mean, the thing about being a comic, and people make fun of me for like wanting the situation to be just right, meaning the lighting. The sound, where the audience not being sat the way the frick back.
I feel like those are minimum.
Right?
Minimum, yes.
Yes.
Because all of those things, if they're not, they just kind of make your job a little harder. Each one. If there's not proper lighting, they can't see you, or it's or the lighting is like. If they're sitting way back, or if they're sitting way back, there's like this discount. We did a show recently where the I think the audience was like, we decided we're like the stage wasn't that high, so both of us before we even we were like, okay, what are we doing? And we were like, you know what, we're getting off the stage, and the cord on the microphone was long enough to kind of to walk. You and I did that once at another venue out in the burbs once, where you literally walked through and you were like talking to each table because we were so far from the audience.
Yeah. Well, because like this comes down like. Events in spaces that aren't traditionally comedy clubs, I kind of get because they're not used to it. Like Tata's would do that. Like she wouldn't. I would ask her, please just sit from the front and then back. And no, people don't want to sit in the front. I get that, but it changes the whole dynamic. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but when you said Tata's, I got really hungry.
It's such good,
really good food.
By the way, Tata's is a taco joint, by the way, everybody. I just want
off of Irving Park and 1 block west of Central Avenue in the Portage Park neighborhood. So we did that one fundraiser, and it was great. Real Time Sports in Elk Grove. We had to stand in between the two rooms. Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh. For Kevin Morrison.
That was
brutal. Exactly. That's exactly the kind of like nightmare situation I'm talking about. Like, so that brings me to the Comedy Plex and the Den, 2 venues that will be fantastic.
Love
for
it.
Built for it.
Yes, built for it.
The Comedy Plex is such a nice room, and I love that they
comfortable.
And I kind of love that they have a camera. You can watch the audience while you're in the green room.
Yes.
Rather than see the comic. Like I don't want to see the. But watching the audience is fantastic. You can see who's having a good time. You can see who's a little bit tight. The Den Theater is so lovely. I know it's for other
for sure, but both venues, the thing they most have in common, because they're very different neighborhoods and different setups. One's more of a theater, the other's a comedy club, but they take care of the comedians.
Yes.
I always leave the Den with a bunch of Den merch, and of course Mars and Sherman do such a fantastic job making everyone feel welcome.
At the club.
It's nice to be in places like that because it kind of makes us be a little bit better. I mean, we're trying to kill every time. But when you're in a good mood,
there's a comfort to that when you feel like, oh wow, okay, they got my back. Like I feel you get to play like you feel. At least I feel a little bit more relaxed when you're in a supportive environment. And all the things like the lighting and this, when all those things are. That it just helps make the job a little bit easier and allows more freedom of just being funny. Now, sometimes that doesn't happen and you've got to be the professional that you got to be and you still got to bring in the jokes and that's fine. But, sometimes it's just like, oh, this is nice.
Yes. And it's so cool because it's like a speakeasy at the Comedy Plex. Yes. I love it. I joke about, I don't joke and I'm serious, how it takes me back to the days of being raised in Humboldt Park. We used to cut through alleys and gangways to go to someone's basement apartment to go hang out. It's just love it.
I love that you went that way. For me, it reminds me more of the basements that I went to when I would do sleepovers, like when I was 9 or 10 years old. And you're like in alleys, like sneaking around, trying to get. I'm just like, remember when we used to play with a Ouija board and do light as a feather, stiff as a board?
I'm with you, Patty. That would have been my.
No, I'm with Evie over here because I cut through gangways all the time.
You do because you didn't want anyone to see you, and I was like trying to sneak around.
I was lazy. It was a shortcut as well.
Because I guess we should explain to folks the entrance to the Comedy Plex is kind of in this sort of
It's off to the side. It's not. It's off of Lake Street, but the address is Lake Street. But
it's in the alley.
But it's in the there's like this small
It's like a brick road alley. It's nice.
Brick road towards the parking garage.
I feel like we should paint the bricks so that people know they're going somewhere, like with an arrow.
I wonder if yellow.
I mean, I'm saying to the yellow brick road to there. Those are two incredible venues for two incredible shows.
Yeah,
you can see this Thursday.
Beautiful.
We all need some laughter. I haven't even talking about the news of the day so much because it's just crazy. I mean, if you have a 401k in the stock market, don't watch those numbers because you know it's going to come back up when he starts manipulating things again. I'm just saying. We are talking to our friends who we all have shows this Thursday. Joe Kilgallon and I will be at the Den Theater on Thursday for our benefit for Kids Above All, but Stand Up for Kids, Kids Above All. Go to kidsaboveall.org for your tickets. And then also on Thursday, it's the No Sabo Kids, all Latinos who can't speak Spanish for whatever reason. That I am one of them. I am in the tribe. So you can go to comedyplex.com for your tickets for Thursday night's show. Let's take a break here and head into the home stretch on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle and KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. We're glad you're all here.
Dive deeper into the heart of the news and stories at WCPT 820 and across the Midwest by checking out our website, heartlandsignal.com.
It's the coverage I can count on every time.
For the latest news updates, in-depth analysis, compelling stories, comprehensive election coverage, live streams, and thought-provoking opinions, head to heartlandsignal.com.
When I need to know, they're there.
They keep me informed and updated wherever I am.
Stay informed with WCPT 820, your go-to source for where facts matter.
Some journeys start small, with small pause and big purpose. Every great partnership begins with the first step.
Bella, let's go.
You don't just raise a puppy, you raise a future. Become a Dogs Inc. puppy raiser. Give a dog a purpose, give someone hope.
Learn more at dogsinc.org.
1 in 10 people age 50 and older in the U.S. have early age-related macular degeneration.
Because macular degeneration often has no early symptoms, many don't know they have it until irreversible vision loss has already occurred.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments.
Schedule a comprehensive eye exam to protect your sight.
Macular Degeneration Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Go to stopamd.org to learn more.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. Cancer screening tests can help keep the person you love around longer by detecting changes before cancer develops, or catch it early when it may be easier to treat. And many tests are available for free or are covered by insurance. It's time to sound like a broken record. Tell all your friends and family, I love you. Get screened. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Hi, everybody watching on Facebook or YouTube. Joining me in studio, comedian Joe Kilgallon, who will be joining me on Thursday at the Den Theater for Kids Above All to benefit kidsaboveall.org, including Anna Bellaval, Kevin Bozeman, Katie Miners. It's going to be a great show. By the way, if you do indulge in beverages, they make a really good old fashioned, is all I'm saying. I should not think about that. I don't need to be thinking about that. But it's going to be a great show. And if you can't make the show, you can go to kidsaboveall.org. And if you can't make it, it better be because you're going to see the No Sabo Kids.
Yes.
At the Comedy Plex.
Thank you.
Be. So if you go to that show, make a donation to kidsaboveall.org. Comedy Plex is where Evie, Cato, and Soli Santos will be performing along with a slew of other Latino comedians who, like me, cannot speak Spanish fluently. I like to find that I have community. It's the most embarrassing, Joe. I honestly, like, the number of times I've had to explain the various reasons I don't speak Spanish. And, like, it's changed for me because when I was a kid, like, my mom's what? Why are you like?
I'm sorry. It just popped in my head. This one time a comedian, he won't be listening, Drew Michael, we were at a place I want to say was it Arturo's on Western near
Western and Armitage.
Late too.
He started, we're waiting in line, and he started speaking Spanish to the, kid behind the counter, and the kid responded in English, going, "I don't know what you're saying." It was so funny. He could have been on the show. He could have been on your show coming up. That's why I started laughing. It popped in my
This
head.
white guy in line.
Yeah.
Trying to show off. It's like, look
but he also thought he was probably connecting. Like,
I think he appreciated the effort, but it was funny. We all laughed.
That's really funny.
I don't know.
So I've done radio interviews and TV interviews. I've had to do in Spanish, and I have index cards. I'm like, these are the only questions you can ask me. If you ask me anything else, you will have dead air.
I bet you that's what J-Lo does.
Yeah.
Plus, with Selena was a little bit like too.
She was. One time I saw her on remember the talk show Cristina?
Yes.
And Cristina, that was a Spanish talk show, kind of equivalent to the Latina Oprah.
With the red glasses, right?
Yes. And she asked something to Selena that was saying something, and Selena responded with some number, but she said it was something like, instead of saying 23, she said no, I'm sorry. It was instead of saying 13. How do you say? I forget.
Trece.
Okay, that's right.
She said 10 y 3.
She said 10 y 3. Yes. And Cristina busted out laughing, and you could see how embarrassed Selena was. But Cristina tried to hold it in, but she couldn't, and she just was like in tears when this poor girl said 10 y 3 instead of saying 13. Yes.
See, the thing, but it's not fair because it's 10, 11, I can't even do 12. 12, 13, 14, 15. That part. 16. See, I don't remember. So 16 is 10 plus 6.
10 and 6, yeah.
10 and 7. 10
and 8. 10 and 9.
See, I can see.
English is the only language that kind of screws with number counting. I read a thing, I hope this is correct. No, it's in Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers, where people were kind of like, why are Asian people very, very good at math? And it's language-based.
Yes.
They have an easier counting system based off their language.
Interesting.
So it totally makes sense when you think of it that way. Because with English, okay, the first 10 numbers, great. So what's the next thing? Oh, it's all teens. Oh, so 1 teen? No.
No. 11 and 12 are not.
No. 3 teen? Well, 13. See? Okay, so fourth teen? No, that one's actually right. That's 14. So 5? No, that's 5th. It's weird, right? So,
okay.
And obviously we figure it out pretty quickly when you're little. Like, that doesn't take too much time. But I think they were basically saying our, whatever age range is, like, we're about the same. And then when it starts to learn that one, they kind of skyrocket a little bit. And then some English speaking people catch up math wise, but language is huge in that regard.
I agree. And I just think it's funny that I was working really hard to remember, like, 12, 13, 14 is 14.
Yes, 14.
15.
15.
Yeah, and then you start with that. Yeah. So I can totally see myself saying 13.
Yes.
1,000%. 1,000% I can see myself saying that. So it's really, it's kind of cute, but it's not to Spanish speakers who.
But even like Eric Estrada didn't speak Spanish. And so he learned how to speak Spanish because his career was kind of dying. He was having trouble getting gigs. And then he was able to do novelas, but he was like, I don't speak Spanish. And they're like, all you got to do is memorize the lines.
Right.
And so that's how he learned how to speak Spanish by being on a novela.
Right.
But he was already a full blown adult when he was a No Sabo kid.
So my thing is that my mom came here to learn English. So that and she married an Irish guy. So that was
you gonna learn English that way.
I just say it and
real fast.
And then but my dad would tell stories about how I would tell other kids. His mom was yelling at her son in Spanish, and I went over to tell the kid what his mom was saying because he didn't understand her. So till I was 5, I apparently understood, but I didn't speak. And then I minored in Spanish in college. I took Spanish classes in high school. It's Declan too. So Declan, when he was born, they told me not to speak more than one language in the house because his language comprehension he tested as deaf. So they were like, if he's hearing language, so they told me not to, and I completely stopped speaking at home because Griffin, he is fluent though. So I started out when he was a baby speaking Spanish to him.
Do you think he makes fun of you in Spanish?
Absolutely,
Yes,
he
cool.
should. It's totally my fault. Yes, and to the point where he's almost annoying about it. Because when we went to Mexico City, he was correcting me everywhere. I don't need that. I don't need that. So the show is this Thursday, and this will be is it 8:00 show?
7:30.
7:30.
Doors open at 6:30.
Excellent.
Yes.
Very fun.
ComedyPlex.com for tickets.
Excellent.
Park. Yeah.
I'm so torn because I invited Katie Miners to be the MC. I've MC'd this for 8 years, and I thought I'd like to just do some comedy. But then it's also really hard to MC. It's would you guys agree it's the hardest spot in any show?
Yes. She has good energy for it, though.
She does.
But it is the hardest spot, definitely.
She does, and I may just let her off the hook and just because I've done it for it's a fundraiser. But the other thing is, I also kind of want to leave right after my set because my son invited me and my mom to go see Wizard of Oz on the big screen at the Music Box Theater.
Oh, nice.
It's a 9:45 show. Isn't that I'm not sure what we're getting ourselves into for a 9:45 showing of Wizard of Oz. Like that seems like it could be anything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, Music
but
Box
it is a music box.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, right. It's not like Rocky Horror Picture Show, right? Where
For the Wizard of Oz, you think people show dressed up as the Wizard of Oz? Perhaps
as Dorothy. I think it might be that kind of. Don't you think? It's
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of
Totally expect that.
That's what I mean. I don't know what I'm getting into. Like,
well, you know,
I think you should dress up.
I feel like I'm gonna dress up for the.
You have
kids
braids
of the world.
already.
I was going to say, I saw the braids. They're perfect.
You're already halfway there.
Right. I will dress up as Toto.
Weren't you Snow White for Halloween once? Was that you?
Snow White, absolutely.
Yes,
that was
I do
one of my
remember
favorite
that.
costumes. Yeah. Because I used to wear really scary costumes until I showed up at Declan's. It's a preschool for kids with disabilities, and I was a ghost bride with like blood and everything, and all the kids were screaming and crying and falling out of their chairs. I'm the worst special needs mom ever, I'm just saying. So after that, it was always Batgirl, Catwoman, and Snow White. So yeah, because my kids thought I was great. All right, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Thank you, Lady B, for everything. Don't forget kidsaboveall.org for the comedy show on Thursday at the Den Theater. ComedyPlex.com if you want to go to that show and offer the No Sabo Kids. Thank you to our sponsors, Pride Coffee Roasters, Source, Solar, Are You Really Winning, Kids Above All. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but I love you all for supporting the work that we do. Good night, Lady B.
Good night.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy.